Nerdy for the podcast where I, Amy Brown, ask interesting people what they're nerdy for. I have Ty Colgate with me here, and I just found he's actually way more interesting than I thought he was because I just found out he has an Emmy.
I do.
But he's a Atlanta international touring stand-up comedian, and I'm so glad to have you in my costume chamber.
What a good intro. You're like, I thought this guest was going to suck. And
I
found out.
I thought you're gonna come on. We're gonna have fun. Spend some time together.
I just thought you'd have some lame takes that we'd burn through real fast.
You have an Emmy?
I do. I don't have like the actual trophy, though. I do have I know people that do. They're not really like respected.
Oh.
Like a lot of people use them as like door stoppers.
Who are these a-holes?
I think it's a lot of people with like more news backgrounds. This isn't like Emmys for like writing House of Cards or something. This is like mine is through Weather Channel. So it's because I operated a crane like device.
You operated a crane on the Weather Channel?
Yeah, for the camera. Like it's.
Oh
we're already nerdy. We've accomplished that.
Wait,
yeah.
Hold on. So is it like a joystick or are you driving it like a truck?
It's like a video game. Yeah, you have like a little joystick here, and then you have like a little throttle thing, and it like makes the crane go up and down.
And you got an Emmy for that.
I got an Emmy for that. I got an Emmy for
the best joysticking in town.
Yeah, best joysticking you could get in Atlanta.
Wait, did you get a lot of practice from like playing video games when you were a kid?
Oh my God, yeah. I was a huge gamer, so it was like a natural leap. Like when we got this crane in, because they're like really hard to get, we had to rent it from a guy.
Was this in Atlanta?
Yeah, this is Atlanta.
Okay.
The cranes are built in the Czech Republic, I believe.
Oh, they've cornered the market on
the Czechs.
On joystick operated cranes for filming. Does it have a big heavy camera on it, or is it just like an iPhone attached to it with duct tape?
I did duct tape an iPhone for a TikTok back when I was more hopeful on content. Yeah, I did. I taped it because we have a teleprompter on there, and I was trying to get a cool shot with it. So I just half taped my phone to it and used it.
I can't believe I just made that up, and it actually
looked like
happened.
A bumper sticker on a Porsche, really, when you tape an iPhone to a crane.
A very fancy crane. Do you know who else uses video games to get better at their jobs?
Surgeons, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a surgeon, and
he plays a lot of video games.
He's like the video games.
So that's true.
Yeah, the video games got his fingers good at running the things that cut people open and help their livers, which I'll probably need pretty soon. I know, right? It's funny because it's true. Is it running? Okay. So you have an Emmy for running the crane. That's so cool. So you have like the back of the scene of the entertainment industry as it pertains to the weather, or were you guys doing all those funny shows on the Weather Channel?
Well, all that's like filmed in house. So like some of the comedians that like like Joel Byers and like Connor Preston Bentley, they would come in and like film, but they didn't take any other takes because it's Weather Channel, so it's for like very old white people, like middle America. So like the jokes have to be very safe.
Yeah.
Obviously, Joel Byers, a lot of those made it to air. CPB, I think, was much more up and down with what they would take. And then half the time they just took, like, the anchors would go on, so they'd just get, like, the funniest anchors to say something like oh, wow, that tornado's fast.
And that would be the joke?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that tornado's fast. It's so fast.
Yeah.
That's a classic. Good
joke.
It's a Weather Channel.
Is it a misdirect? I'm so confused. Is it hyperbole or?
No, it's because it's just like the stuff they would do for like VH1 shows, like where they had like comic stuff come on. Where it's like it's not funny because you are appealing to people. Like this is for people
who watch the weather.
Who are like they're it's like your demographics from like 45 to 70. They're at home watching this at 3 p.m. And they actually find everything offensive. So
yeah, we're not getting like Daniel Tosh in to have his take on a tsunami. Like you just,
I would just throw in some
some
rape jokes and some
our sponsors are
jokes.
Hearing aids and AARP. That's like our commercials.
That's great. My parents have a tight finger on the pulse of the weather in our country. They will talk about the weather when I'm going to Panama City to do comedy or whatever.
Why do you think they get so like? I guess like life slows down, so you get so much more interested in like other going ons. Because I always wondered what would be the appeal of Weather Channel, because it's like the whole thing is just the weather around the country, and who cares about like Iowa if you live in Georgia?
That's just true. I think they care about like the places they know people, and then they can text their friend that lives in whatever part of Florida.
Today.
Yeah,
hot day.
Thinking about you with the hurricane coming through.
I'm joking, but I did watch the Weather Channel when I worked there. I did get it a little. It's very peaceful. It is calming.
I bet it would be relaxing compared to the news.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If I was like hungover, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, I had a friend who was really into amateur meteorology work, and I'm not joking. Like, instead of going on the Weather Channel, people used to just text him and just be like, "Hey, heard this storm coming. Is this true? We gotta worry." Because like, where are you at? No, you're good. It's gonna pass you. He just really liked weather. And
I just had that. Are you talking about Dan Weeks by any chance?
no, this is a guy from Chattanooga. If you tell me that Dan Weeks is
he is.
I was about to say,
He asked me how to get a job
This
there.
makes so much sense in the weirdest way. Like, I wouldn't have guessed it, but when you're telling me this, I was like, yeah, that works. That tracks for Dan.
Yeah, there's like
We talk so much about Dan Weeks on this show. Go ahead. We have to have him on. Go ahead.
You
Sorry.
have to. Well, that's what
It's
he's
a
nerdy
mystery.
for. So we spoiled that. But
Weather and
Weather
Dragon Con
and doing
and Star Wars.
lots of drugs.
Atlanta-based comedian who, partied a lot in like the early 2000s, DJ'd in Buckhead. Now
wow.
just wants to be a weatherman.
I think it's full circle. He likes the Hawaiian shirt too.
He
he's
does wear a
ridiculous.
lot of Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
You can't pull that off at Weather Channel though.
Oh, yeah,
Chroma key, you'd blend in.
Yeah.
It was a green shirt.
It'd be a map on
and we
your
look
chest.
naked. I have a theory though about people and talking about the weather. It's safe discussion.
Of course.
And when I visited Scotland, and it's all anyone talked about. And
Scotland, really?
Yes. And my husband and I were like, "What's happening? What's happening?" And then we realized the weather changes every 5 minutes in Scotland, so it's actually.
Is that for
interesting.
real though? Or is that in the sense of like everyone's always like, oh, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes? Because you hear
No.
that about a lot of places.
It's like there's all these showers that are always coming through, and it's sunny and it's showery, and it's sunny and it's showery, and so it actually is something interesting to talk about.
In Scotland, that's the only place that's interesting.
Probably the only place. I don't know. It's not like come up and like, who did you vote for? Nice to meet you, sir. What's your stance on circumcision? Let's do that. That'll be more interesting.
I'll tell you what they're not talking about: independence.
Scotland?
Yeah.
Oh, is there something in the news they were trying to?
No, historically, they're still part of the UK.
Yes, but they were going to try to vote.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, or is it 5 years ago? Time is
They do it a
moving
lot.
weird for me these days.
I think it's like a thing
It's come up a few times.
Can't take my
Yeah.
freedom.
They're too busy talking
You
about
get an accent.
circumcision stuff.
Not terrible. What?
So they're too busy talking about circumcisions, though, just like you brought up. That's a real hot topic over there.
You want to
Circumcisions?
snip
Yeah,
the tip of the wiener?
I don't know. Amy just brought it up, like that people talk about that when they first meet each other.
I think that's
Wait,
what.
circumcision's for real? Like, are they pro
No, I'm
against
messing.
it?
I'm messing. That was me being silly.
For real?
Frill.
Because I could believe it. Because I don't know what Scots
You're
talk
like, just
about.
tell me right now and I'll buy in.
I will say that Scotland, very beautiful place, but like, I don't. What are their I don't.
What do they talk about? It's weather, and that's
Weather and foreskins. That's the that's
even-
actually the creed on their flag.
Scottish people used to be a nightmare for me because I worked in Orlando, Florida at a jewelry shop, and
Oh.
all the other employees were Puerto Rican. And they were the one type of white person where the English was so, like, their English is so messy for them
yeah.
that they'd come in, they'd be like, Poppy, you got to go talk to them. And then even I'm sitting there going, like, I don't know what this,
Guys-
because they talk in idioms.
Okay.
Everything's idiomatic to them.
Oh.
And I don't know it
Wait.
because as Americans, we don't have
Real
their
quick,
idioms.
let's talk about what an idiom is, because I am an idiot.
It's a saying.
A saying.
Just a saying.
Yeah. Which is a brutal.
Yeah.
If you're trying to learn a language.
For a nerdy podcast, you didn't know what an idiom was?
Well, I just like to make sure everyone.
She's a
knows
different type of
everyone's
nerd.
Yeah.
on board. I'm just writing down idiom just so you
Yeah.
remember what it
for
is.
fun.
Yeah, Do you want me to look up the definition?
Now you can ask people if they know what an idiom means.
What's
at the
funny,
end
she
of the
wrote
show.
IDOM. Apple's new sex product, IDOM.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Comes
like
with a gimp suit.
a dominatrix. It
Yes.
comes- yes. What's okay? How do you spell idiom?
We don't. It's all good. I don't know if it's that interesting for the
maybe
show.
maybe Ty doesn't know how to spell idiom.
I'm pretty sure it's IDIOM,
okay. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
but I'm not. I'll be honest. I don't spell idiom a lot.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Pope's
he got,
wanker.
you got idiom on that one.
What if we did a whole session just speaking in idioms? I have them all memorized wrong, so it's fun.
well, I like ones that like contradict. Like, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Like, I like idioms that like kind of negate each other
Yeah.
a little bit.
My favorite is, and I don't even think it's an idiom, is I want a noodle on that.
Wait, what? No, that's not an idiom. There's no way.
I stole it from a friend, and it just
I
gives
want a
you
noodle?
Yeah, and Oprah says I'm gonna pray on that and get back to you. And I'm not religious, so I'm gonna noodle on that, and I do eat carbs, so that's so accurate. And
Oh, it's thinking something over.
I need
Okay.
to spend some time with this before I get back to you, and so it gives me like
I thought it was more of a euphemism of like I'm gonna noodle on. I was like, what is that even?
oh like
So yeah, I thought it was like a sexy thing, but like now I see. So you're gonna like eat
I think only
spaghetti and think. Is that
boys
what that?
have noodles, girls have vaginas.
You know what?
Sorry, I'm very silly today.
Yes,
I do
noodles to
actually.
vaginas.
I have 6 brand new pool noodles that are next to my pool right now.
That could be the other. I'm gonna noodle on it. You think about it in the pool,
Yeah, you just gotta go float in your pool and
which makes more sense. I feel
That's
like.
relatable.
Yeah.
You know how everyone has a pool.
Yeah.
Well, most of my demo is above ground pools, but
Yeah,
they're there. They have them.
I grew up above ground.
Did you?
Yeah,
Where'd you grow up at?
upstate New York, on a dirt road near Rochester.
Really? Mm-hmm. I never. Upstate New York always seems to me it's like always bougie. Like it doesn't come off as like.
Oh no, we're near Canada. Dirt road, 5,000 people in our
Really?
town. Yeah.
I always hear upstate and I always think like, I don't know, very posh, fancy.
I think you're thinking the suburbs of New York City.
Yeah,
and we're
I think
8
so.
hours, I think, from New York.
I don't know New York well though. I grew up in Florida, so
Oh,
I know
yeah.
New Yorkers.
I don't know
as-
Florida well. I just went to Panama City, and I was like, okay, cool. Is there gonna be like a boardwalk or something?
Panama City Beach.
Panama City Beach. They never made it to Panama City Beach. We
Yeah,
just
there's
went
a
up
bridge you have to get over.
Yeah. The
yeah.
bridges are fun. I'm not gonna lie. I love driving my car over a bridge
Yeah.
and seeing the
That doesn't-
ocean and looking at the boats. I wave at the boats. It's very dangerous.
I know what you mean, but when you say you like to drive your car over a bridge, it doesn't. That's another idiom, or actually euphemism, really, for suicide.
Yeah,
off
some
a
people call it a
bridge.
cry for help.
Yes.
Driving a car off a bridge.
Where's your glass of wine? Maybe that would help.
I know, right? So
We switched to water, and all of a sudden, it's like I want to drive off a bridge.
that's how I felt before. I haven't even asked you, Ty. What are you nerdy for?
Nothing. Just straight cooling these days.
Oh, you're too cool to be
Too cool.
nerdy.
No, I'm not as much nowadays. Cinema, like I love movies a lot,
Oh, cool.
but I feel like not much anymore. Now I feel like I dabble in too many things, and I never get to the level of nerd for it.
Yes, I can. Yes, because
Gotten to watch.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 28 now.
Oh, you're too early to give up. I didn't know you were that young. You can still, you have time to
get really
invest
nerdy.
in something. I'm almost dead, so I don't
There's
have
not
time.
a
I'm supposed to be
chance.
just I'm at the buffet, just tasting a little bit of
If
everything.
we keep you away from those bridges,
keep me away from the bridges.
we got you for a while.
Trying to enjoy. You still have a good 30, 40 years of cognitive ability ahead of you. You could stick some more stuff in that old.
We'll see.
Some more
Maybe
video-
2 years. Who knows?
Uh-oh.
It's been a long
Yeah,
2023.
I was gonna say the bridges are sounding pretty good right now.
And I was like, I might have to go to Panama City and see this bridge.
Oh my gosh. Now are you really sad?
No,
Is this a cry for help?
No, not yet.
teasing.
Let's see how the rest of the episode goes, and we'll see.
I would definitely put all of your stakes in this episode of
Yes.
Nerdy For, the podcast where I ask people what they're nerdy for.
There's a lot riding on this podcast for me.
Yeah, all of your eggs are in one basket. And that's not true because you went to Europe and toured doing comedy. Please tell me, because I went to Spain and I did stand up for one
In
night
Barcelona?
in Barcelona.
Where at?
It was the Basement, MINT.
Yes,
Did you go there too?
I had one of my worst bombs ever.
Can we hug?
Oh, was it rough?
Yes, I need a
Oh,
hug. Okay. No, I need this hug. I started strong, and you've seen there. I put those clips on the internet, and then the middle part got
I didn't
real,
see these clips. Why?
real bad, and then I
Shout
did
out to
better
Luis.
at the end.
He books it. Luis,
He's great.
lovely man.
My son and his friend were in the audience, so I got to go ahead and bomb in front of my child. And I'm sweating right now just even thinking of it. Oh God! But he's like, "You did okay, Mom." What a sweet boy to say that. I'm
Which
like,
one
"No."
was it?
Cooper, my older son.
Is that why he left?
Is that why he went to college? That's why he left me.
Yeah.
He can't live with a loser.
I will say, Basement is uniquely hard. I did it twice.
Okay.
Because Luis was not there the first time, so he did not see. Because it was horrific. Like I wasn't supposed to go first, and someone wasn't there, so like, hey, you'll go first. And I was only supposed to do like a little bit of time, but the people weren't there, so they're just letting me do more time. It went bad from minute 1.
Oh no.
To like, I don't know, I did like 10 to 12 minutes because I was filling time. And I tried to like go into crowd work, and I realized I don't know how to crowd work Europeans. I'm like, oh yeah, where are you guys from? And they're like, Ireland. And I was like,
cool.
I don't know.
Good for
fucking
you.
Yeah, like, that's great.
Potatoes.
Oh, what
Moving
do you do? That's
on.
nasty to a sheep. Wink.
Yeah, and
They
I
were
bombed
uptight.
so hard.
Oh man.
But I went back. And went
For redemption.
with vengeance. I was because
Yeah.
Barcelona, I did like 5 or 6 shows there. It's like the crowds want combat, like they want to see you bleed. So like I just went back like I'm going to win this like a game, and just attacked immediately and had a way better set.
Okay.
But it was, I think the first one still haunts me.
Yeah.
There's a part, I think I apologized halfway through too. I was like, I just came from Berlin. All this stuff worked there. I was like, sorry.
Yeah. It was.
all I
It's a
got.
tourist town, and the people were a little uptight. Like they didn't want to hear any
They're-
of my
yeah.
hard takes on the amount of pubic hair people are having.
They want to like, what I realized, they just want to be like attacked. Cause like,
Oh really?
like I watched a couple comics, other American comics, and they just like roasted them so hard, and they would eat that up.
Okay.
But like, they kind of have
Yeah.
a chip on their shoulder. That's what I realized in Barcelona. They just do not, they hate Americans, and they just think we're like arrogant, which a lot of us are. But I think if you go in and you kind of like set some ground rules early on with them, they kind of get it a little bit more of like, yeah, no, I'm not, like we can have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it like you really have to establish some kind of like confidence up top with them, or
Yeah.
they just like ruin you.
They ruined. It's a beautiful room, and I thought that like,
gorgeous.
There was a guy from America who murdered on my show, and made me feel bad for going last. I'm like, that guy should have gone last. I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time performing in Europe, and he'd been traveling all over Europe, and he was just goofy. He was just doing setup punchlines that were goofy, and they loved it.
Oh, well then I forget what I just said. Go goofy.
But it was also a room of it was right after Pride. This was in Barcelona, so it was a bunch of just tourists too from all over. And I had some material making fun of Germans, and there was this really hot German guy sitting in the front. So I was like, "You got," and it was
You lost
that
your
was
chance.
fun. That was fun. Well, they were not interested in lady parts, but they were so cute. I loved them. So what was it like performing in Berlin? Because I want to go there. I have a German exchange student in high school. I've been to Berlin, I think 2 or 3 times now in my life, and I would love to perform there. What's the audiences like there?
They're a lot of fun. Berlin as a place. Do you party a lot?
Did you have to perform in a leather harness, or was it optional?
It was in fact optional, but I did go to one of the sex clubs.
You did?
I went to Kit Kat, which
Did
is like.
they put something in your no-no? Are you?
I got rejected the first time.
They reject you?
I guess technically I bombed in every city, but I didn't bomb at Comedy in Berlin. I bombed being like cool. Let me tell you, that hurts. Like, cause
Wait, you get bombed at the sex club?
well, so
Wait, what's happening?
You wait 2 hours in this line because it takes forever, and like Berlin clubs, I guess, are known for being very hard to get into.
Is this a dance club or a sex club?
It's all the same.
It's all together.
Some don't.
Together?
Yeah. Kit Kat is like both things come together. Yeah.
Okay. Pretend I'm 12 years old and I grew up on a dirt road and I don't know anything.
Well,
and I
don't
didn't
tell a
have the
12-year-old about a
internet.
sex club.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, use baby words.
Yeah, they fucking in there. No, yeah, I waited 2 hours. The first time I went, and I got there, and like I had, I don't know, what you would wear to a club maybe in America.
What would you wear to a club in America?
I would
not
have
been in a long
like
time.
maybe just a button up and some jeans, stuff that's like
Are they
kinda
dark
comfortable.
colored?
Yeah, darker colored.
Like a darker denim.
Yeah.
Are you wearing a hard leather shoe?
I think I did there.
Okay. Do you have a necklace? Do you have your like things open, like your buttons open on your collar, and then like?
I didn't have a necklace then, but
You've
now
got
I
2
would.
on right now.
I have
For the
2 now.
record, there's 2
because of this
necklaces,
experience.
Yeah, Berlin rocked me.
and they're 2 different colored golds and silver or platinum.
Yeah.
White gold. I don't know your life.
I think one is just silver, and I think one is probably gold plated.
Ah.
Not to disappoint everyone.
Yeah, no worries.
We can't pawn this thing, so I really need this podcast to work.
When I leave the home, I wear fake jewelry too, so it's just I feel safer. Like it won't
I don't have
get
the real
stolen.
jewelry though. There's not an option. It wasn't a this or that.
You don't have to reveal. Just pretend you
No, I'm
have
an
a
open
safe
book.
full of jewelry at home. And
I had no jewelry. I go and it's a big German bouncer, and he's like, "Come on." He's like, "You know I can't let you in."
Why?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you look European to me. Like you have the European.
Totally. Yeah. I'm like
body
making
type.
jokes over there about how I look like a lesbian with a deep voice, and they're like, "We don't get it. You look like us." It's like I hate to break it to you guys.
Yeah, you're like, that is.
But you guys look very feminine from where we're coming
Yeah,
from.
it's a trope.
Yeah.
Gay or European,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Legally Blonde. Right.
or just my life.
Oh okay. Are you hitting on a lot of like gay men, hoping? And then,
I have a European friend and my other friend who's gay and American met him, and you're like, when you met him, do you think he was gay or European? And he goes, I was hoping for both.
yeah, no, it was brutal. He's like, I can't let you in. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, come on, look at what you're wearing. I was like, oh my God. After 2 hours, I watched a grown man take a piss in the line that I'm waiting in. They pee in the line.
Did he get in?
Oh.
Yes.
How'd he look though?
What was the difference? What was he wearing? How do we be
He's
cool?
ready to
Tell
party.
us how to be cool.
So they were wearing like shorter shorts and like tighter tank tops and like, you
needed to show the goods.
So I went back.
Did you get some shorty shorts?
I did. I call these the fuck shorts because they look exactly what you'd wear in a Berlin club because it's they like, I don't know, they like have a seat belt that clicks in. I'm like, I don't understand this feature. And
did you have to go shopping in Berlin to find your seatbelt?
Well, they have
shorts?
like a gimp suit shop up the road from this club that you can go to, but I don't have $3,000 to buy leather.
I didn't realize it got that expensive in gimp culture.
Yeah, I think
If you're getting like real leather and stuff like that, it gets up there.
yeah.
I guess so, because bridles and saddles are expensive for horses. I guess they'd be expensive for people too.
So if you're doing it for horses or if you're doing it to get laid, it doesn't matter.
Now, I have a friend, she went to Berlin and she was talking about going to a club in there.
Yeah.
And how it's great. Also, they're like all day and night. Like they're just going. And she says she spent a day and a half at a club. And when she got up there and she saw everyone else, she was nervous. So she said before she was like 2 people a night, she just took her top off. And they're like, all right, yeah, you're good. Go on.
Yeah.
And I will say this.
So she was wearing a bra or nothing?
Nothing.
Because you can be naked in Berlin.
I don't know about Berlin, but these kinds of clubs are for sure like you're gonna go in. There's gonna be stuff happening, and you just gotta be cool.
I think I'd be giggling the whole time.
I wore a choker with a leather jacket, no shirt.
There we go.
I had these little shorty fuck shorts on, whatever.
Oh my gosh!
And
do you have pictures?
I don't think so because here's the thing: when you get in the club, which I didn't think I was going to get in, there was like a group of guys that were pretending to be gay to get in.
Oh.
Because they don't want a bunch of straight dudes in there.
Yeah.
And they get to the front, and the lady's like, "Come on, guys! Like, what are we doing here?" And they're like, "No, we're together." And she's like, "Don't have to say it."
Is this in English or in German? And you understand German?
I don't understand German. I have broken German, but this is all English because it's like very touristy.
Okay.
Because they're like British, and they get to the front, and she's like, "Guys, clearly straight."
Yeah.
Just go. You're just gonna have to go because that's all you're watching. It's like the saddest Disney ride ever. You're just watching people kicked out of line constantly.
I wouldn't survive it. I'd take all the castaways
blows.
off and be like, let's go have our own party.
A bunch of people that just took Molly that are being told sorry.
They can do nothing with their boners.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're too ugly for the club. Get out of here. I get there. I have the goofy. And
what kind of a choker is it? Is it a ribbon?
I think it was supposed to be wrapped around a wrist.
Is it leather?
Yeah. And
leather.
then, so essentially it'd be like this, but like wrapped around.
So was it a braided leather?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how was the clasp? Because you got to be careful on your throat.
I think it was adjustable.
It was
Just a little adjustable clasp. Okay. And then they let you in, you pay your money.
How much was it?
I want to say 50 euros a person.
So like $100.
Yeah, a little over $100. You get in, they take your phone.
That's smart.
Yeah.
No, you can't have a phone in there. And it's funny because like this was a slow night, so they didn't have the whole club open. They had like a small part.
Okay.
And you go to the bar, and there's this hallway right behind the bar, and you're just watching like people getting blowjobs, people having sex, and there's this like group of kids that were like doing cocaine.
What kind of kids? What's a
like
kid?
College kids. They're like doing cocaine, and they get caught. And it's so funny, the juxtaposition of like a bouncer going like, you guys got to get the fuck out of here. That's not cool. While right behind the bouncer, there's people just actively having sex. So it's like the cocaine too far.
Too far.
But yeah.
Well, you just got to do it. You got to do it, behind, like cocaine's for behind closed doors.
Yes.
Fucking is,
For open.
But you can't get to the bathrooms. People are fucking in the bathroom. It's like, this place is hell once you get in because it's like no AC. And like there's a lot of people.
Does it smell like armpits?
Probably smells like fucking.
I don't really remember the smell being like super noticeable, but
that's good.
it does smell sweaty because there's no AC.
Yeah.
Europe has no AC.
Yeah.
Not in the sex clubs either. And
That's one place they should get it.
Yeah.
really, if
That's
you're
where you want-
They should for
Let's
sure
bring
get
the
it.
temperature
whatever
down.
filters they have in Las Vegas, where it takes all the like the smoke smell out and like, puts extra oxygen in. That's what they need.
But I'm
there.
sure in Germany that's like against their culture. You know what I mean? Like there's probably some history where they're like, we need the smells. That's part of the culture.
Oh.
Well, I have no idea. This place is wild. There's no clocks.
Yeah.
You're locked in.
Well, that is very Las Vegas.
Yeah, I get there.
Can't find the
at
exits. You don't know. There's
10,
no windows.
And
10 p.m. Is it dark outside then?
yeah, very dark. And we're there for a while. It's me and my girlfriend. We're there for a long time because we did this for like.
What did she wear?
It's probably like
You as a napkin. No.
Yeah, kind of. No, it was like I think not topless, but like probably just I don't remember.
Like a bra, a fancy bra,
Yeah, I think so.
a leather bikini.
Or lingerie.
Yeah,
Essentially.
I was like, but you're going in there slutty. You're getting.
Yeah.
You're getting.
It's like
slutted up.
Halloween.
And there's like a
but-
French girl that's like in love with her. A
Yeah.
French girl with armpit hair, just like please.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was wild.
Did you okay? Would you do it again? Or was this like a life experience? Were you checking off a box, or were you like
Checking
this
off a
calls-
box.
This calls my name, and this is going to be my new
Yeah, I don't think I'm a
identity.
sex club guy. I think it was worth checking out once. I would like to go to a more legitimate. No offense to Kit Kat, I don't think they need my vouch, but I would like to go to like a more legitimate Berlin club because this was more of a touristy. The sex clubs are very touristy.
Is it? Well, Kit Kat isn't that from Cabaret? That's the name of the bar and the Kit Kat girl. Is that right?
I don't know. What,
Can you the bar, the Cabaret Bistro and the musical Cabaret? We got to find out the name.
Oh no, I think that's. I think that was in Paris, and I forget the name of it.
No, it's in Berlin. Well,
it?
okay, so Cabaret is based on these books called the Berlin Diaries.
Oh,
Someone took some classes in college about musical theater. We had to read the Berlin Diaries, and it was wild.
Scandalous.
So after World War I, Germany got wild in
Right.
between the two wars, and people were just sucking and fucking, and they're like,
And they haven't stopped.
and they
I can confirm.
in Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, good job, Amy. Your musical theater nerd kind of got you into a horny place.
Yeah.
Does that
Surprise.
make up for not knowing idiom?
Those are two different things. Those are two different realms.
Did you
but
get
it
the
is-
musical theater before all the
It is
student
the
debt?
Kit Kat Club.
Wait, what? All the student debt? What?
Before all the did you get musical theater before all the student debt kicked in? Like was this
I
at a
know,
time where college wasn't like
I know, right?
because now musical theater is like a scarlet letter because it's like oh you're
Yeah,
unemployed
made a bad
forever
choice.
and you
Yeah.
can't.
Well, yeah, I only minored in musical theater. I majored in economics.
Really?
I did, and I don't remember any of it. Sorry. Oops a daisy. Sorry, mom and
That's kind of
dad.
a smart major economics.
I know. I was trying.
You had like curves and some math.
Yes, and you didn't have to write a lot, and I was dyslexic, and so I was like trying to like work the system.
See, I had a terrible I had a libertarian economics teacher, so I
Oh.
don't know economics.
Well, you are interesting at a cocktail party though.
Oh, very libertarian.
What a weird choice.
We did like 2 math problems, and then everything was like, "Hey, write why subsidies are bad."
Okay.
That was it.
Where was this?
This is a
Florida?
community college in Orlando, Florida. So that's where,
community
That's
college.
not at all surprising.
yeah, that's where you find them.
There's okay. I listened to Freakonomics podcast. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Have you read those or listened to those books? The Freakonomics
I think I've
books?
watched. They made a movie, right, or something.
Did
or-
they?
or
I should watch
watched
a movie.
thing.
That's really more of the way
Yeah.
I learn things.
Yeah.
But they're fascinating, and they have a libertarian professor out of I think James Madison, and he's very like libertarian, but
Yeah.
interesting to listen to.
So you can say dumb.
Yeah.
Right. It's I have a theory about libertarians. Should I
What's your
say
theory?
it?
What's it? Yeah.
My theory
We're already
is
scandalous.
they come from a family where there was a very dominant person in their life telling them their business, And now, as they are adults,
They're like-
they're like, no one is going to tell me.
I want to suck dick and I don't want to pay taxes.
Yeah, no one's going to tell me my business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. But I mean, there's a reason. We started with nothing, with no rules. Well, depending on where you're from, but with like no subsidies. And then you would just, step over the orphans on the way to your job.
Yeah.
And
Those
we're like,
orphans should have been born rich. It's those orphans' fault.
You're
Yeah.
from New York. Child labor did a lot for that state.
you know what? Shout out to
Hey,
my
child
ancestors.
labor did a lot for everywhere.
I had
Truly.
ancestors sewing buttons on shoes
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun.
in the
Are
workhouse.
you related to Annie? What is this? What is going on?
Oh my gosh! We should write that. It would be my brain just went to the sad place about like factories and fires in New York. I don't want to think about that.
we can go back to Berlin if you want.
Yes. Okay.
They had child labor too, I bet. A
Yeah.
lot of child labor everywhere.
Well, they had a
children-
lot of a certain type of labor.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of camps for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Now Berlin is they feel bad and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
now we have these clubs.
Yeah.
Now
Don't-
we're cool.
Yeah, don't ask us about those two big old wars that happened that we were the baddies in. Do you want to come in here and do some sex? We got no AC.
Hey, now we use those trains to get you to a sex club.
Do you? Okay, this is a question. And this is what I'm curious about too. Do they have because there was a Netflix show where this Hasidic Jewish lady goes to Berlin
Right.
to run away from. Did you see that? Run away from her Hasidic husband, and it's actually very accepting, and it's a safe place for her as
Yeah, Berlin's very liberal.
Jewish,
Yeah,
yes,
super
as a
liberal.
Jewish person, but at the same time, I've also heard like people going to Germany and making Jewish jokes, like they're Jewish American comics, and they're like the people aren't getting it, and she's like, oh, that's right, you don't have any Jews here anymore. Did you do any?
There were comics that did like not a lot of, but I heard just hacky Holocaust jokes. But they're not like from Germany. These are like other Europeans, so it's like I don't know, a dude that was an Irish comic because Berlin's comedy scene is kind of like what Atlanta is, like it's like a mid-sized scene, but it's not the place. It's not like London.
Is London the place in Europe for comedy?
Yeah, like that's their New York. That's where it's like you can get on TV and blah blah blah. So it's like a mid-sized scene. So it has like mid-sized scene problems where like you have like edgelordy, which is fine. I didn't really care because it's like.
What was it like performing in Berlin?
The audiences, they listen well. They're honestly some of the nicest crowds ever. Like I would go back. One of the New York comics I met in Barcelona at Basement, he moved to Berlin. Like it was that
good.
because I told him that I was like Berlin out of all the Europe because I did Berlin, Barcelona, Paris. Out of the three, Berlin was like the most fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go visit. I've been trying to visit my friend and do comedy there.
Just do it. They have two clubs.
What's your slutty outfit you're gonna wear to get into Kit Kat?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
A hoodie, a onesie that zips with the feet attached, that zips all the way up to the top, but it has bunny ears.
That could work. That
It's sexy.
could work. All leather?
It's pink furry.
Oh, furry. I don't know.
It's like the one from
You
the
really
Christmas
want
Story.
something that's gonna soak liquid up? You want to wear that into the club?
She just wants to go be nice to everyone in line. She's not trying to get in. She's just trying to mother everyone.
She wants to ask people that are like coming down from Molly, like,
Yeah.
"Are you okay?"
You
You're like, I got
okay?
some snacks in
Do you
my
want some
purse.
water?
I got a couple of orange slices
I got-
here. It's okay. You can go have sex with a group of people elsewhere.
Do you need some Gatorade? How about some condoms?
Yeah.
How about some lubricant? That looks owie where you're putting that.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's wild. It's foul, but it's
No, good for them. I'm like excited for them. Good for them.
Good for them.
I just
I'm glad they found something they're having fun with.
yeah. I just don't want to have to be considered for those activities because I'm like
Well, you don't get in there and get like gang raped.
fingered right
like,
away.
yeah, no, it's not like that. Like it's all like everyone's polite.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Like
No.
if they
But I do feel
proposition
like-
you, it's like, would you like sex? And you're like, no. They're like, all right, have a good day.
Yeah.
I think I also don't want to set myself
Well,
up.
no one asked me, but
Yeah.
I'm sure for a much more attractive person,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, there was the French woman into your girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah. We should get my girlfriend on here. She might know.
I always she propositioned a bunch.
Oh, yeah. This French girl was like in love with her.
Oh, that's sweet.
But that's usually the case. I'm
Yeah.
like,
yeah, I don't want to set myself up for being my feelings hurt on a night when I'm supposed to be having fun. Like
Well, I did.
to get kicked out of the line or whatever, or like refused entrance to a club. I'm not. I know what I am. I'm not going to be.
But
a
once you
club
get
person.
in, you'll get. It's like a cool atmosphere because like we left at 7 a.m.
Oh my god.
I had no idea because there's no clock. So you leave and it's just like sunlight hits you immediately. And I don't think, if you want to talk about the saddest walk of shame,
Yeah.
it's wearing my little,
your little
slutty
outfit.
twink outfit
Yes.
as people are going to work. So it's like I'm just crossing paths with people that have important things to do with their lives.
Yes.
And it's just me walking back to my hotel dejected from this sex club.
I bet they're envious of you. I bet they're like, I just have to go to work. Look at this guy. He's been on Molly all night.
I bet they all know where you're coming from, and they know that 100% you're like American.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, if you live in walkable distance of that place,
it could be a different tourist though, not just necessarily.
It could be
whatever tourist,
just some kind of tourist coming back from a sex club. I'm sure that you do know.
When you're going to work at a bank, I don't think you're looking at the guy dressed like a little.
It depends how your marriage is going.
That is true.
You're like,
but to be fair, a lot of them were just like,
Ooh, I've heard. So in Europe, people have like their person they partner with. They don't necessarily get married anymore because there's no like benefit to it. That you partner with to raise your children.
Okay.
And then you have a piece on the side. And this is for boys and girls.
It's open-minded.
I think it's just called polyamory and/or an open relationship, though.
Also, I don't think they label it like that.
Also, you can't measure how well that's working because if they're not getting married, there's like no divorce rate. So it's like there's no wins and losses in this. So
that's a really good point.
Yeah, this is preseason.
If a tree falls in the wood and it lands on your lover's boner.
Yeah, it's like how do we measure how well this is working? Though I will say Europeans, they're just way more relaxed. I mean,
well, they are unless you're doing stand-up comedy. For me, I've noticed they did not like any of my dirty material. And
the comedians?
No, the audience.
Well, that was Basement.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I like the Basement. They were great.
No, Basement's great.
Please
it's just like
back.
some of the. I do know what you went through.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Okay, I just got to go to Germany. I
think I made fun of a Finnish guy the second time I did it, and in true European fashion, they're like, "We love that. We love when you pick another country to fucking attack." Yeah. You are right. Finland does suck.
I do love I love European countries get mad at each other, and then for America, it's just like. Some of these countries are smaller than states that we have, and they're like, we have very distinct stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also, everyone loves racism everywhere.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Well, I don't know if Finnish people aren't of race.
It's not necessarily a race. What would it have been?
That's a
what is it? Nationality?
Yes, thank you. There we go.
Prejudice. People like prejudice. What is it whenever one country hates the other, but they're still primarily the same, like white?
Yeah.
Nationalists.
Europe.
Yeah, nationalists. Yeah, it is Europe. Yeah.
Oh. And then they do try to because when you're in Barcelona, they try to act like they're not white, and then you're like, no, you're European.
Yeah, you're like, y'all just conquered Mexico instead of other places. That was it. Like,
their argument there is that technically they're Catalonian. They're Catalonian, so they're like, we're not Spain.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm sure you guys did a lot to stop Spain.
It took a long time to get Spain united, and I didn't realize that their democracy is only like from 1975. It's 1 year
cutting
older
edge.
Than I am.
That's their TikTok over there, democracy. Mm-hmm. Like, holy shit.
I got a friend from Spain. He said a bunch of really hard right-leaning people just got in power. Yeah. Well, I mean, we got that in America too, so it's not.
I know, but
fascism, baby.
Right. We have a bigger army than they have to work with too, so maybe it won't change anything for them.
I mean, they can't even win fights against bulls. They're still doing that. They can't win a real war.
Oh, that's a good one. I was on a train in Spain. I feel like I'm going to start singing.
Yeah.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. I was on a train in Spain.
Yes.
And it said 120 degrees when we were going through like the desert part.
It's so hot.
Between Barcelona and Madrid.
And their trains are terrible.
Oh, we had a good train. It smelled terrible. It was like a cleaning chemical, but it was really fast. We did take the Euro Star, like the fast one, or?
I don't know. I think ours was pulled by horses because look, Germans have done a lot wrong, but I'll tell you what, they make a goddamn good train. Same with Paris. You get to Barcelona and it feels like I'm doing public transportation in America. It's like MARTA.
Is it TGV? Did you do that? Their fast train in France?
I don't think I got to because the normal train, crazy enough, just went fast.
Yeah.
Spain was the only place where I was like, why does this thing? Because we went to architect for
a local Gaudi.
So we went to the Gaudi Park. And that took should have Ubered. Wow.
That sounds like a tram instead of a train.
I think it was the main train.
Oh.
I don't remember fully, but it was very slow, and it's a very hot day.
Okay.
What month did you go?
July.
Yeah, it's hell.
Hot. No, we had a good train though with air conditioning, and it went very fast. So it was going.
How the other side lives. You know what I mean? We got real and fake jewelry to choose from, and we have fast trains in Barcelona.
It was going from Barcelona to Madrid, so that's like a
Oh, well.
it was it was like taking an airplane.
When I found out Madrid didn't have comedy, I was like, well, then that place is dead to me. So I was in Barcelona pretty much the whole time. Which was disappointing. When you grow up in Florida, Barcelona is such a letdown because it's a similar touristy vibe to it.
Okay.
It's like St. Augustine on steroids. But I will say this, Sagrada de Familia,
yeah.
the most beautiful building I've ever seen.
So beautiful. I took teenage boys with me.
Did they appreciate it?
That was their favorite part of the trip.
Sagrada de Familia?
Sagrada de Familia. It's a church that Gaudi designed. And
three or four different architects now because it's been in...
Yes, because he died and he left plans. And then during one of the revolutions they had in Spain, his plans got set on fire and things like that. And so people are just kind of going off what they think he wanted. And it's beautiful and it's all rainbows, so it looks gay. I love it. And it just got sacrosancted.
Mm-hmm.
What's that when you make a church? Can you Google it?
Sanctuary. When you break the champagne bottle on it.
Yes, and then an old lady sings, sanctified.
Sanctified.
I got it. Sanctified. Like recent, like in the 80s, 1980s. Like it wasn't even like it was a Catholic church, but it wasn't a Catholic church until recently.
You're not helping what like conservatives think of Atlanta when you like are excited about the gay part of the church, and you're like, what's it called when it becomes a church though?
I know, and I'm worried because I get so upset about people homeschooling their children, and half of our friends have been homeschooled who are comedians in the South, and I was just like, after the pandemic when the children had to stay home and how hard that was, I'm like, why would you sign up for that on purpose?
I don't know. I have a cousin that's doing that, and I'm sure all her time is just gone.
How did you?
There's no breaks.
We had a friend who is an adult now, and basically the parents homeschooled them, and they did not school them. And she's like, one day she's like, "That's it. I'm teaching myself how to read," and she taught herself how to read, and she was able to get there. But like, dude,
she had to teach herself how to read because her parents just didn't.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't know how to spell idiom either.
I wonder, okay, if the people who homeschool their children just don't want to get up in the morning and get everybody dressed and out the door.
Oh, do you think they do the substitute teacher thing? They pull the TV out? Did you have that?
That's substitute teacher?
Yeah, when the teacher's like hungover and it's like, we're gonna watch a movie today.
Dude, I have PTSD about that because of the Challenger. The Challenger.
The spaceship?
Old fashioned times, there was a spaceship that exploded on television, and they made all the school children in America watch it.
Well, we had 9/11. That was our Challenger.
Oh, you know what? That was awful too. I remember that.
That was awful. Well, you're supposed to never forget.
I had a teacher get mad at me because we were watching a spaceship launch when I forget how. I think I was in like 7th grade, and I made a joke about like, what if it blew up? And she was like, "Don't say that. That happened to the Challenger, and I watched it whenever I was around your age," and she was very upset.
Yeah.
And then 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah,
that was
awful.
And then I used that to get out of a lot of classwork.
9/11?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
How was that?
It's a bamboozle.
Yeah, well, because the day it happened, I was trying to do some makeup work, and everyone was, obviously very distracted. So, like, the first tower went down, and I was like, everyone needs to shut up. I got to do this work, otherwise I'm going to fail this really annoying class.
Wait, they want you to submit work as the towers are coming down?
Yeah. Well, then the second tower went down, and then I was like, oh, hey, I can't. And they're like, no, take till the end of the week. And then once that happened, every period in my for the rest of that week.
Is this high school?
Yeah, at least one class, because you can't double up.
How did you find out about it? Was there?
It was like we were like in school.
Was there like a television on or
no?
On
like
you have a phone?
It hit. No, because this was like right before like cell phones were big. Because I was in like 9th grade for it. But like the first tower hit, and like everybody is talking about. Like teachers are like, "Oh, we got to turn on the news. What's happening?"
Yeah.
They have a TV in their room.
Yeah, because there are TVs and stuff.
I'm trying to remember like what, because I was an adult and I went home and I turned on a television.
And then so like first tower hit, people started talking about it. Once the second tower hit, that's when I realized I could use that to get out of classwork, and I did. And then for the rest of the week, not that day, for the rest of the week, I would like be like, "Excuse me, listen, I know you have a lesson plan. I would really like to turn the news on, just see what's happening in the country today." And he was like, "You know what? Let's do it." And then I would take a nap.
Joel's a patriot.
Then I took a nap, baby.
I can't say no.
I don't know. I feel like it took a long time to heal.
I was like 14. What am I supposed to do?
The nation is healing, and so am I.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to take a break.
Yeah. I just, my parents weren't
How
good
old were
people.
you?
I was 14. So like I was in ninth grade. My parents weren't good people, and I was taught how to lie a lot as a kid. So like I was like, oh, this is what an opportunity is called.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was 22.
See, I was too young to take advantage of national tragedy.
See?
I was 6. I was
Just in first grade.
I wonder, like,
6.
Could have got out of class.
well, I mean, what are you learning when?
Well, my mom did take me out of class a day, as if like the teachers were also like, next is Port St. Lucie.
Oh, that's where they're coming for, baby.
Yeah.
Florida.
I know.
We're coming for small coastal towns.
That's why I think a lot of people have fear like that. Like we had a friend that would be afraid to drive by some gas tank, like huge gas tanks in a small town. I'm like, this is not on the that there was going to be a target, and I'm like, no, this is not about you. Like this is what fear does in the brain.
Yeah. Well, fear and narcissism,
Do you think? Yeah. Well,
to a small degree, it has to, because like the loops, the hoops you're jumping through, to be like, man, they're gonna come to Bithlow and fucking blow up our gas station.
I feel like the brain has a certain amount of fear it wants to use every day. It has like an allotment, and so you get to pick what it's gonna be put on. And that day, that person needed to think of it as the Taliban.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Do you have any like fears?
Let me think.
This podcast is getting weird.
I know. It was funny. It was like nerdy for movies, and let's get back to the sex clubs.
Oh, I love it. I forgot about movies. I forgot to write it down.
He said nothing about movies. He also said he used to be.
Well, Cabaret.
Well, no, I mean, I still am.
Yeah.
It's just I don't have like the time. You know what it is? It's like I don't have time to watch a 2-hour thing anymore.
Right.
And most of the best films are like 2.5 hours, so I just don't have it. I'm like, it's like 11 o'clock. I'm like, I need something, so I'm like burning through The Sopranos now. I have 45 minutes.
Yeah,
I do that sometimes too. I'm like, I don't have enough time to watch a whole movie. That's 2 hours.
And then I'll watch 3 Sopranos.
I will watch like 3 to 4 hour long TV shows back to back.
Yeah. I will not watch Phantom Thread, but I will watch a whole season of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I wonder too if it's easier to have the story wrap up in 30 minutes. You don't have to keep all those characters and all those stories going for 2 hours in our little TikTok brains that can't hold anything.
Well, a TV show goes on forever though.
Yeah, but they kind of put a bow on the end of it.
Not Sopranos.
But it's
Sopranos
also,
never
I think
ends.
it's easier just because the story's going and you don't have to pay. You have to pay more direct attention to a movie than you do a show. Because a show, you're like, all right, I know these characters, I know what's going on.
Obviously, it depends. Like if you're watching Dumb and Dumber, I don't think you need like great film. But I mean,
Is that your favorite? What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
I don't think I have like I don't have like a go-to. I'm not one of those people where I'm like, I can watch a movie 5 times if I love it.
You don't put like, is there something you put on for comfort?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I'll just put a movie on because a movie is comforting. I love going to a movie theater. I love the experience of like a movie theater, the smell of popcorn.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for like cool, especially like art house cinema like theaters.
Oh.
We had a cool one in Orlando called the Indian. I loved it. You could get like a cocktail, and there were tables and couches set up.
It would be like subtitled or
sometimes like
indie artsy film.
Oh yeah, they got weird stuff from like Raw was like, I think.
What's Raw?
It's like a Belgium horror, maybe French horror film.
Oh.
But it's great.
Did the monster have an accent?
No. I don't think there really was a monster.
Oh.
I don't know.
I think
I
humans
don't
are
want to spoil it. You should watch it.
Humans are the real monsters.
I think that's really...
I'm assuming, Amy, do you like horror movies? I'm assuming you get too spooked.
So I can't put anything in my little creative brain that's
What do you watch?
sad because it'll haunt me when I try to go to sleep at night. I actually do. I like a silly horror where it's like comedy.
Scream.
And it's I don't like, I can survive it. I don't like it and I don't seek it out. But if I'm having to do it, please make it funny, like the Mr. X with the screams and the scares and stuff. And I like, you don't like, you think it's gonna be that and it's a different thing and you laugh and you scream when you're watching. I like that.
Well, regardless of horror films, what do you watch? Do you have a favorite movie? Is there a go-to for you?
So my calming one is Anti-Mame, which is an old Anti-Mame. It's an old movie for gay men and interior design ladies of a certain age.
Interior design ladies. Anti-Mame. What?
Yes, it's
what
Rosalind Russell, and there is a musical one called Mame with Lucille Ball.
Bad.
I like the OG original Rosalind Russell. She's so funny in it, and she's like this rich lady who lives in New York, and she like adopts her nephew, and they go on adventures together.
How lovely!
And she keeps redecorating her apartment, her fancy apartment, her penthouse, and it was like the first time they had an interior designer in cinema. So
what year was this?
Oh golly, I don't know. Maybe the late 40s. It was in it's in color. I don't know when. I should look that up. I don't know when.
That was back when movies were advertising color.
Producer, would you like to look up Anti-Mame movie Rosalind Russell and when it came out?
Yeah, it's 1958. I was already looking up.
Oh, 1958. So I was 10 years off.
Okay, okay.
It's a comedy romance. It's what it's listed
as. I think that feels like your speed. Comedy romance. I feel like that's the lane you're living in.
That's my yes. Yes.
Yeah, it has to be.
Comedy romance.
I love I like horror and comedy. I like them together too.
Yeah.
I think I like horror a lot more now that I'm older. It used to be too much, and then now I really like it. But then there is a bunch of studies that people with a lot of trauma like horror because you can control it, and so you're like, oh, I know this is supposed to be bad.
Yeah.
Hereditary, I think, is one of the best films ever, and it's one of the wildest,
it's fucked
scariest.
up.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you would hate it.
Yeah.
It is
not a lot of laughs.
It is one. It's so tense. It's a really good personification of like family trauma and grief and the loss of a child.
Oh God,
and it's
no, I can't.
Also, like the last
shot beautifully too.
So beautiful.
It's shot like they were on miniatures. Sometimes.
Like 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes of it is just like nonstop craziness. Well, also that's like one of the best scripts ever. There's no
Ari Aster or whatever.
Yeah. It was his first one, but it's like one of the best scripts ever. There's no fat. Everything's used. Yeah. Everything comes back. But you, Amy, would cry so much.
I'm crying just hearing about the description.
No romance.
No
Toni
comedy.
Collette should have been nominated and won for that movie. She kills it in that movie. You'd never watch it. You will. No. It will devastate you.
There was a movie. Okay, help me out, Nick. I think it was Nicolas Cage was in it, and
Gone
it's
in 60 seconds.
And it's in Florida.
Face off.
It's in Florida, and they're in the Everglades, and they're trying to get orchids.
Adaptation?
Yeah, yes. And there's a car accident scene that they filmed, and it looked very realistic for what it's like to be in a car accident.
Oh.
And that's what I see when I go to bed at night every night now. And
the movie or
that scene, that accident scene.
That's
and
not
I saw it
movie.
like 20 years ago. I saw it 20 years ago, and
It's just stayed with you.
PTSD from watching
a
movie. So I'd be very careful what goes in these eye holes.
Oh my God.
I like that. My favorite line from adaptation is from because it's like, the story of him writing the story. So it's like the two cutbacks and stuff. But like my favorite scene is in the book version, like in the book, in that whenever it's like the orchid hunters, and it's just that weird guy who just looks at her like they're talking about. I don't remember what the context is, but like they're just asking questions. He goes, "Oh, some people fuck fish." And then she's like, "What?" He goes, "That's what I'm saying. Who knows what anything happens? Some people fuck fish."
Oh my God.
I heard that as like a teenager, and I was like, "That makes sense." There we go.
There was a period of time where movies were coming out where like dialogue was just wild.
Yeah, I loved it. The adaptation was
like,
good.
Wasn't that like True Romance or whatever with Christian Slater?
True Romance is a good one. That's a weird ass one.
Super weird.
Have you guys watched the new thing on Netflix where it's about the Oxycontin, Oxy tampons?
You don't have to act like you don't know what it is, Amy.
And it's out right now, and it's like breaking down what this family did to make it available for everybody, even though it was basically heroin. Have you seen this on Netflix?
Anyone? I know. I haven't seen it.
I have a lot of family that's fans of OxyContin, but they haven't seen the dog.
We're in Buckhead, baby.
The dialogue is awful. It's so written so clunkily.
Oh, it's not a documentary. It's like a...
No, it's like a reenactment, but they're like just changing everything to make it go faster and make everyone seem like this total evil. And
so like a bad Oprah Oppenheimer, just like we're
Yeah.
gonna fuck the whole thing up.
It was bless their hearts. I don't,
Bless their hearts.
I don't like watching something like, do I need to send them notes?
It's not fun to work on a bad movie. I can't tell you that.
Have you done that?
I have worked
You've
on
worked
a
on
bad-
movies?
I've worked on really just one indie film in particular that had a decent budget for what it was.
Were you doing the crane?
No, I just moved to Atlanta. I was like an unpaid, like borderline just a production assistant, and then I sort of shoot their BTS for them.
What's a BTS?
Behind the scenes.
Oh, cool.
Or EPK, electronic press kit. So that's like the stuff you see where it's like the actor sitting there and it's like, oh, it was just so lovely.
It's just so great to be with such creative people.
Yes.
Everyone here is so
Joey
kind.
was such a creative visionary.
Did you wear your fuckboy outfit from Berlin to do it?
No, this was before Berlin.
Oh.
This is before I even did comedy.
You should have come to this episode in that outfit.
I can try to find a picture, and you can, if you want to post it, you
Ooh,
can
that
do
sounds
that
like-
if there's
yes.
like an Instagram or whatever.
Yeah. Yes,
but
please.
I don't know if I'd have it though. I don't remember putting that outfit on and going like, I need to remember this.
It's just,
Like it was a means to an
it
end.
was a means to an end for checking a box. I totally
Yes.
get it. I totally get it. Okay. We talked about movies. Let's see how we're doing on time. I think. Oh, it's time for me to ask you some
Yeah,
questions.
let's do some rapid fire questions.
Yes. So
Oh.
this is the part of the show where I find out what kind of a nerd you are.
It's like a BuzzFeed kind of quiz. Like by the end, it's like you're
mean,
not
it's-
getting laid.
No, it's this is a celebration of nerddom. It's hopefully everyone gets laid.
Well, yeah, that is true. It's being a nerd nowadays is so different than
Yeah.
like what it used to be.
Yeah.
And Dragon Con proves that every year.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot. There's something behind that.
I was saying, no, I do a bunch of nerd shit. I know a myriad of nerds. So
Yeah.
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 And they're having a good time, especially Joel. He wore his shorty shorts to.
I wear my
Dragon
shorty
Con.
shorts everywhere though. Y'all, we're gonna. I love how like earlier we were just like, you got like a good 34 years. We're gonna die of global warming in like 15 years. All right.
know.
Every year, my shorts are getting shorter because it's just getting hotter here, y'all. you got to slut it up now. You don't got a lot of time. We're all gonna be dead soon.
Jesus,
Yeah.
9/11 made him dark.
Hey,
think-
baby.
I think it was his childhood.
Yeah, it was a combination. It was a
Okay,
combination.
that's fair.
Okay. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Okay. Have you ever said that's not canon about something Star Warsy?
Yes.
Are you okay? Are you watching all of the new things that are coming out
No,
at all? No Mandalorian for you?
I have not watched a minute.
Okay, so you're OG. You want the classic ones?
No, I love like Rogue One, right? Was that
Yeah, that was yeah.
that one? I
Is
love
that the
that
one where
one.
everyone dies at the end?
Yeah, that one's great.
Now that's also burned on my brain. I see the exploding and
oh,
those
it's
people
incredible though.
kissing,
And the way it's shot, it's so innovative
It
for Star
was
Wars.
it was the prequel to.
I know they
New
had to
Hope,
get the
yeah.
plans off so they could kill the Death Star.
The
I
problem is-
know,
the pro-
but
they-
it's sad. Why do we have to put this in our brain holes? Why couldn't they just all escape and get all the children? It's all fantasy. Why do people have to die?
because they know that's your expectation. They did a good job.
Yeah, I bet a bunch of kids died in the Death Star too.
Oh,
Tons,
you're right.
yeah.
For sure, a bunch of kids died in Alderaan. They destroyed
Yeah.
the hell out of that planet.
Yeah.
A lot of kids.
Well, you
I would
just-
say all the kids on that planet died.
I don't like this episode.
And you just buried your head in the sand. You just forgot
Yeah.
about those kids because you didn't see them.
When they kill all of the
Princess Leia's planet? Is that what the one you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
Yeah, and when
Just explodes. That's the first, like,
Darth Vader
beginning.
when Anakin goes crazy and murders all of the
Yeah, that's
the,
like a school shooting for Star
Yeah.
Wars
School
terms.
shoot- yes, and our children have to deal with school. It's too much. It's too much. We
Yeah,
have.
we didn't even talk about school shooting this episode. They're
let's round it
lousy
out.
with it.
A nice cornucopia of all the
Yeah.
things that can be sad in life.
I fell off on the second new one.
God, I thought you were about to say second school shooting.
Yeah. I couldn't get behind, like, they weren't fun anymore. It was like Columbine was great, and then after that, they
You're
just
like,
couldn't.
Copying. Moving
No.
on. Let's ask them dirty questions.
This is awful.
No.
Oh,
we'll
I'm
save that for the
sweating.
second Nerdy 4
This is-
episode.
I can't. All these guns. It's
No,
too much.
The second, that new trilogy, the second one was just so, to me, atrociously bad. I couldn't do it. So I know
Yeah.
Mandalorian's good, but it's just too late.
I'm
They've
tough.
already hurt me.
They've already, yeah. I think the franchise is so loosey goosey, and depending on who's directing these new things,
Oh, yeah.
each episode it could be great or it could be awful.
The Mandalorian?
The new ones, yeah, all
Oh,
these new things
God.
that my son is making me watch.
This is why I'm out. I can't do it. So no.
I wish I could join you, but it's the only thing I can do with my teenage son. So I'm
You
doing
just gotta
it.
be like my parents and you just check out. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I
He'll find
can't.
something to do.
I can't. I wish I could. No, I don't. All right. Have you ever LARPed or cosplayed?
Yes,
at
but not
in Berlin at the sex place.
as
That
like a
was
sexy
definitely
little
that
twink.
was cosplaying.
No, someone bought a full Batman outfit for me once to interview people.
Oh, for the news for the Weather Channel.
No, this was like just like an internet thing that I
Oh.
didn't really go anywhere. But technically, if you want to count that, it wasn't a legitimate cosplay because I'm being paid. So I guess no.
That's a job. That's
That's a
just
job.
that's like if they make you dress in a costume and
And
hand
the
out
fact that
free
I'll be
samples at the
taxed
mall.
on that, sad reality.
Get taxed?
Yeah.
Like you had to pay tax on it?
Well, it was a paid job.
Yeah.
My libertarian economics professor very disappointed.
Yeah. Is this how taxes work? Okay. Cool. What's the longest sitting you've done for a video game or a board game?
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. This is Joel's question he added to the pile. P.S. If anyone has any cool nerdy questions, send them to me and I'll put them in this pile here. This is okay. This is
tough.
a good nerd
Yeah.
question.
I
'Cause-
pulled a muscle in my back once
Oh.
because I sat so long.
When I was younger, I played too many video games, and I would say 15 to 17 hours, maybe 18 hours. Really.
Did you get a hemorrhoid? Oh my God, that's a lot of sitting.
I was young enough to where I could bounce back, and I had Lunchables fueling me, kind of get me through. So I was getting some carbs in, kind of
good.
conditioning.
Do you hear there's some drilling happening just real quick?
I
'cause
thought this was going to be professional.
I know. My husband is installing a 130-foot antenna so he can do ham radio.
But that's your husband?
No, that's the electrician
okay.
installing the 130-foot antenna. It's a big long wire. So
I was about to say, if that was your husband and we're in here fucking off doing this
Why
podcast.
why do you such a big thing for ham radio? I thought that's the point of ham radio is that you can do it without.
It's because he wants to, like, you have to be high up and then you talk to someone across the world with Morse code because you want to pretend the internet hasn't been invented.
I was going to say,
yet.
what about the internet?
Thank you.
Wait, ham radio is for Morse code?
Yes.
So your husband talks to people Morse code?
Yes. Yes.
hard
And
to
he
say.
just, you guys, he went to get his ham radio license renewed and he had to, there's 3 different levels and he took all 3 levels in one day and no one had ever done that before. And they took a picture of him at the ham radio licensing shop because now he's a celebrity.
Frank.
You must say, they put his picture up on the wall. They're like,
I think
are
they
y'all
put-
going to go for the Kenton today?
I think they put it in on their Facebook page and stuff. Like he's now a celebrity.
What a catch.
I know. That's one of the
Jesus
questions.
Christ.
Do you know Morse code?
No.
Okay.
Look, I don't.
I
No.
don't. And then I guess 18 hours for video games.
What
So
was the game?
That's a good
I
question.
played a lot of Team Fortress 2.
There we go. That makes sense.
A lot of TF2.
Have you ever been to a Rush concert?
No. But I listened to a lot of Rush when I was in high school.
Okay, so that's pretty nerdy. 'Cause
Yeah.
the drummer who wrote that music was
Neil Peart, big libertarian for a while.
in Canada.
Yeah, he was a big fan of Ayn Rand. When he first started. When the band first started,
Yeah, I
hate
think
to
that's
disappoint any liberal Rush fans out there. But a lot of the early stuff was definitely a lot of libertarian imagery.
Did you the guy who started Whole Foods wrote a book, The Compassionate what's that market capitalist? The Compassionate Capitalist. Did you read that?
No.
Okay. We won't talk about it then.
Whole Foods?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then he sold
The guy
it.
that
then he
gentrifies
sold
every
it.
neighborhood?
I was like, and then he
sold
sold
it
to Jeff Bezos.
Amazon. Yeah, it was
I'm not like fully anti-capitalist, but like also that's such the compassionate
Yeah.
Well,
capitalist.
it was talking about like if you want, because there has to be some sort of there has to be some sort of internal for each human, like this will benefit me and my family if I do this. And there also has to be something to help the people who are in a cycle of poverty, because if you are in a cycle of poverty, it's harder to learn because you can't concentrate because your parents are stressed out.
How many digits is his income? Because like at
Oh,
some
so
point,
this is what I'm gonna say. So he actually had it at his work. Everyone knew how much everyone made,
Yeah.
and the people who are higher up can only make like 5 times or 10 times the amount or whatever of the lowest paid person. So
Okay.
it wasn't exponentially different, and also therefore feeling
is it still that way with Jeff Bezos?
exactly. And I'm kind of like curious because now we don't know if it works.
Yeah.
Do you have a cape?
I mean, technically with the Batman outfit, yeah.
Yeah. Is it a fancy one?
They spent like $400
Ooh,
on
the
like
fancy
a
one.
custom. It was when the Robert Pattinson movie was coming out, so they got that one, and that one was cutting edge at the time.
Do you have a card collection? Baseball, postcards, Pokemon, dance cards.
I I did as a kid, but not anymore.
Okay. Do you know all the words to a musical?
No.
Do you do scuba diving?
No.
Do you have a perfect attendance award?
No.
Have you been stuffed in a locker?
No.
Have you ever said huzzah?
No. No one's saying huzzah.
Oh, do you have IMB app on your phone?
IMDb.
IMDb. Oh,
When I worked in the industry, yes.
okay. IMDb. Have you ever taken? So you're really into movies. Did you ever take a film history appreciation class?
My minor was film, so that's
a minor
all,
in
that's
film.
just all history. And
You know what, Cause okay, there's that's kind of cool. Like people are like, yeah, like because like the guys who make films usually like, are crushing a lot of pussy.
What?
whoa.
Don't you say like imagine that like a LA guy and he's like making films and he doesn't button his shirt up and he has lots of rings. Oh wait, that's Johnny Depp.
Yeah, you're picturing best case scenario.
Yeah,
right
I was just
there.
like, I think you're picturing a very small minority of people. That make.
Most of the film people were they were no.
The director. Would you see yourself as a director or a script
I'd
writer?
like to. I don't have the time to really dedicate to try to do any of that, but eventually, yeah, it'd be fun.
Do you, in your mind, are you always like, this will go in the movie? Are you writing movies in your mind or?
I've written one feature length, and then I have half one finished, but no, I do so much stand-up now that a lot of it just goes through joke filters and bit filters. Mm-hmm. I have like nuggets of things that maybe, but it's... Mm-hmm. It'd be so disingenuous to be like, yeah, no, I can see it.
Do you feel like you would enjoy being in a writer's room with a bunch of guys like working on a sitcom and making up jokes and folks? I meant, not trying to do gender here.
I think it depends on the writer's room, but like my friend, a good friend of mine, he writes for Kimmel, and
Okay.
he's the one that we like pitch a lot of things together. So I enjoy that, but that's like such a, you know what I mean? Like I've known him for so long. I don't know
You have
what
a
it's
good
like to
synergy.
be. Yeah, I don't know what it's like to be dropped into a room with like strangers, and it's like, all right, come up with the funniest thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I would like to. It'd be a fun challenge.
I think that sounds like fun. Have you ever held a sword?
I think.
Okay.
I don't think
It's okay. You're not like, yeah, I've got 7 of them on the wall at
Yeah.
home, and this is how I get
I mean, things
my
can change.
girlfriend and get
Things can
excited.
change.
Is it girlfriend or are you guys engaged or anything like that?
Probably have to eventually get engaged. It's been too long. But,
Sorry, bad question. My
yeah.
bad. Don't worry. We'll back that up. Oh, do you have a Death Star Lego? Are you into Legos?
No, but I did have like a Death Star as a kid. I had like the Death Star and you hit the thing and it opened up.
Do you wish you still had it? Do you miss it every day?
No.
Okay, then that's not a thing. Have you ever held a ferret?
My roommate has a ferret, so every
You
day I
live
hold
with a
it.
ferret right now.
I've
You're an active
I
ferret.
lived with 2 for a while.
Okay, but it was the roommate. Did you love them? Did you hold them?
They grew on me a lot.
They what to you a lot?
They grew on me a lot.
They grew
I didn't
on
really
you?
picture myself liking ferrets, but I really do like
So
ferrets.
okay, that's not an active
Pain in the ass
ferret
pets,
person.
but
Do
very
they
cute.
poop everywhere?
Well, you can train them to like kind of have an
A litter box?
Yeah, but you need a lot of litter boxes.
Because they poop all over?
Yeah, but like you can, so that you have treats for ferrets like dogs. So if you reward them for like repeating an action,
You can train them.
you can train them.
You train how to train your ferret.
But I would
That's
not.
the movie you're gonna write.
How to Train Your Ferret?
Yeah, instead of dragon. And
Okay.
it's gonna be all about treats and poop.
We start there. We start there, and we work our way back up to something. You know, that's the baseline, and then we'll get somewhere.
And I'm out. I can't. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to write a movie. That sounds like a lot of work. Have you ever written fan fiction?
No.
Have you ever had a birthday party for a pet?
Yeah, we had a birthday party for the ferret.
You had a birthday party for the ferret?
I have a picture.
Oh.
I don't have it like conveniently on me, but yeah, it's like a little cap.
Okay. That's
That's great.
adorbs. Do you like Jeopardy?
No.
Do you like school supply shopping?
More so now because I like to write in legal pads and I like certain pens.
Okay.
So now I do.
Have you ever ridden a motorcycle?
No.
Okay.
I've written on the back of one.
Is that nerdy?
I'm just trying to figure things out here.
I'm an anomaly.
You're an anomaly.
No.
Okay. Skateboard.
Longboard.
What's a longboard?
This is a longer skateboard.
Okay. Do you surf?
No.
Okay, but you longboard a lot?
I did while I was in college, yeah.
Okay, so you're
So
like...
this is at least 20s. We're in 20s now.
Okay, you are boarding to class?
I was for a while.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Skating, boarding. I think you can use whatever.
Okay.
I wasn't like super into the culture, but like I had a longboard, and yeah, you would take the class. It was a very big campus I was on, so.
Okay, so you're longboarding to your movie class, your film studies classes.
For a while. It got stolen from me. I had it for like a year, really.
Studies classes. Okay. Yeah. And are you like living with roommates?
Yeah, I had like 5.
5 bros?
Yeah, 5
Were you in a fraternity?
No, it's just.
Are you still tight with these guys?
I keep up with them.
Do you play hacky sack with them?
No, that's not a thing anymore.
Was it back then?
No.
Okay. Frisbee?
No.
Barbecuing? What'd you guys do together? Played video games?
They played a lot of games. I was out of my gaming phase by then, so I didn't get to know them all super well. They would have house parties, though, and I got to know them through that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Can you do a keg stand?
I could. I just shotgunned my first beer the other day.
Oh, mazel tov.
Shufi. Shotgun a beer.
You shotgunned your first beer?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm missing something. Did you like grow up on a Did you grow up on a farm with?
It feels like you're very confident with these questions, and then we got to a point where you're like, I don't have a way to put you in a box.
Were you into Harry Potter?
No.
Not so. You like movies. I can see you like with like kind of like the shrug shoulders, backpack on the longboard, coming like dismounting the longboard and like picking it up like
I feel like I have decent posture though. I used to do in high school. I had a lot of weightlifting friends, even though I don't have weight. But it was always like you had to walk like chest out. And so I wasn't like slouchy.
Okay.
I wasn't like that kid that was just
like the cool one doing it.
Oh yeah, I mean like
the
I had
sad
like
one.
a little satchel.
Yeah, and then like you get off your board and it's like running. It's next to you and you like hit it with your foot and it flips up and you grab it.
I wish I was that good. I didn't have that.
That's from Back to the Future. That's what that character does. Okay, I feel like you are like cool adjacent. Is that possible? Like, do you?
Yeah, because I don't think I have enough things to be qualified as cool. But we could be cool adjacent, I guess.
But like, I feel like you're strong enough in your spirit and knowing who you are to do what you like to do without being influenced by like culture. Like, yes, I'm going to go buy a collar in Berlin and go to the sex thing because it's something I want to do. And I don't care if it's like totally outside of my whatever. Like, you're just going to try it.
Yeah, I do wish, especially for the sake of this podcast, I wish I was like harder into certain things, like certain groups, because it's like I feel like I'll get really interested in something. Like I got very interested in watches for a little bit. Now it's like a little bit of fashion, so that's why I'm like wearing jewelry now.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I'll do it for a point, and then I always, it just falls off.
Oh, well, maybe
I have commitment issues.
Well, maybe you just got to the part where you learned it enough, and you're like,
yeah, I think I get what I want out of it.
A connoisseur.
Yeah.
An epicurious.
I think I always want to be the guy that knows a lot about. A little bit about a lot of things.
Yes.
I love those guys. I don't know why, but I think it's so interesting to be the guy that can like keep up and hold court and conversation on a lot of topics.
Okay. I'm going to say you have a low burning nerdiness to you.
Yeah.
Like it's there and it's up, like helps you pursue your passions, but it's not like making you have a room that's dedicated completely to a thing.
Do you have a room dedicated to something?
Where you're in my costume closet right now.
This is a costume closet?
Yeah, those are all costumes behind all those.
When you say costumes, what do you mean?
That's wigs in that dresser.
Just this whole dresser's wigs?
Yes.
That's a nice dresser.
Thank you. My great
And you have it just for wigs?
Yes. And so, yeah, that's, So
she's a lady of means. You can't compare yourself to this.
Yeah. And I think you have like enough nerdiness to make you interesting, but you also have a layer of cool.
Okay.
Like, you have this confidence. You're like, I'm gonna go try something in Europe. I'm gonna go on a huge trip. I'm gonna travel around the United States doing stand-up comedy.
I feel I didn't get to travel a lot as a child. I didn't have dressers like this, so I couldn't get around. But I think now that I'm in a position where I can try a lot of different things, because I just feel like I just didn't. My childhood was like a lot of just nothing. I didn't really get to do a lot that I now find interesting.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I'm trying to make up for time. So we're just going.
Yeah, well, I think the pandemic also shotgunned people into doing things all at
Pandemic was
once.
cool though. I got into meditation. You know,
into
some people lost their grandma.
See,
I got into meditation.
Okay, meditation. Again, you're like the cool guy in California making movies, wearing your sex harness.
Yeah, just wear my
doing
fuck shorts or whatever.
meditation, your tiny shorts. Just experiencing the world. Yeah.
I think in best case scenario, if everything, if nothing ever bad happens, maybe. But right now, we're here.
This is awesome here.
This is it. We're not like you're talking about Hollywood. You're like talking about like I'm going to a Hollywood party.
Atlanta's the new Hollywood, so you can do that here.
Who's saying that? What bumper sticker did you read that on right there? Who?
You can say this is the new anything.
You're a film guy, right?
There's nothing illegal about it.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to say that Geneseo. My grandmother used to say that SUNY Geneseo is the Harvard of the Genesee. You can just put Harvard in front of anything.
What she's saying is
the New York
you can
school?
lie.
It's the New York
State University or whatever?
Yes. You can just put Harvard in front of anything. You can put
just lie.
Hollywood
I'm
in front
from the
of
South.
anything.
I've heard it all my life. At Tulane, Harvard of the South. Florida, Harvard of the South. Rollins, Harvard of the
Yeah.
South. UGA, Harvard of the South.
Yeah, you can just make stuff up. No one's checking.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Where did the dude that made Whole Foods, where did he go?
When he sold out,
Well, no, where did he go to school before he started Whole Foods? I feel like he has to be an Ivy League guy.
you think so? Oh, I think I read. No, he was.
Is he a
not.
state school?
And like his store started like trying to get organic food to people, and they had a terrible flood or like something terrible happened to the store, and the community came and helped them rebuild the store. The community wanted it so bad. I know,
I'm
right?
trying to find things I'm not going to like about him, but it's
He went to the University of Texas at Austin and as well as Trinity University.
all right, private school, but state school as well. That's, wow.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Yeah. All right. So you're great. Thank you for coming and being a cool guy with a haze of nerd, like a shade, like a scrim,
a
filter,
faint hint.
a filter of nerdy energy behind it, but cool energy on the front, on the surface.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, like a Cadbury egg.
I wish that's what the Berlin bouncer said to me. That would have been, I could have swallowed that easier.
I know this is why we shouldn't stand in line and get judged for how we look. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me pretty much just Ty Colgate on all platforms.
Ty Colgate.
Ty Colgate, just like the toothpaste.
Yeah, good for spelling there. And on all the things. And thank you so much for coming on Nerdy for. Let's hug it out.